Well, hello, Plug Crew. We're back with another segment, and today it's super special because we have our graduating seniors on the show. So give it up for Simeon.
Waited, because we both
graduated.
Yeah.
Period. Graduated. Sorry, let me come correct. The graduated seniors, put your hands together for Simeon and Courtney.
Round of applause for ourselves.
Yay! So I have to ask the basic question, and we'll start with Courtney. How do you feel? You've crossed that tassel, you've watched across that stage. What is one word to describe your feeling right now?
It's kind of surreal. Like, I know the day of, I was really like, I'm just trying to go in here and get my diploma. I don't really care about this. I was not really like, I'm not really excited. I was just like,
let me walk across this stage.
yeah. But then
2 hours.
when I got there, it was actually kind of fun. It was like taking pictures with all of my friends and everything. It was just kind of like, I mean, I didn't talk to really nobody else like that, but like all the pictures I took, pictures I got, that means we gonna talk outside of this.
Definitely.
If we didn't take no pictures, then that's your sign that we're cut off.
Hey, Simeon, what's one word to describe how you feel right now, man?
I just feel like I'm in limbo, to be honest. Like transitioning to anything is weird because it's a new foothold to climb towards your goal or somewhere else. So like Courtney said, I didn't take pictures with nobody. I took pictures with like 1 or 2 people, but that for me doesn't like mean I don't mess with you like that. It's just I just really don't care to take pictures with you. I'm more of a mental tattoo type of person, like memory tattoo. Like I'd rather cherish the moment than like keep on going with pictures and stuff like that. Cause eventually, like at some point, you might have pictures of people you don't even rock with no more.
Truly.
And then you look at the pictures and then you just start getting agitated and everything like that. Like it's not even worth it. But like that's just a sidetrack. But like yeah, that's how it be. Limbo. Yeah.
Limbo. I like that.
Just summer. No, like we don't really got no responsibilities right now for real. I don't.
I got scholarships to do.
I got my scholarships. I'm set. Like you know what I'm saying. But like.
I gotta
though.
I gotta actually start packing soon.
Yeah.
Cause I gotta, I'm leaving like all my winter clothes and I'm gonna keep all like my summer clothes and stuff like that. Cause I'm moving to North Carolina. So
hey, okay. And speaking of that, so can you tell us where you guys are going to school at?
I'm going to Johnson Wales University in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, and what are you studying?
I'm going for baking and pastry. I'm trying to figure out if I want to double major and do psychology or just go back for culinary arts, but I gotta figure it out.
Big dog. And Simeon, what's your plan?
So I got into a 5-year master program at U of D Mercy for civil and architectural engineering. And that's where I'm gonna be going. And like Courtney's moving away and her family's staying here, but my family's moving away to Atlanta and I'm staying here. So
wow.
So I'm gonna be on my own. So
but I mean, at least you know up here.
Yeah, I know up here more. I feel more. I wouldn't feel as comfortable going off somewhere and my family going off somewhere too, because it's kind of like 2 new starts. So I gotta help my family figure out their start, and I gotta figure out my start too somewhere else. So being here in the area, you know, right down the street from the Tab, I can still come to the Tab, see my folks. Like it works out for me.
That's great, man. That's great.
Yeah.
And that leads me into my next question. I want to ask you guys, what's one thing that you guys, I'll say, are like holding on to, like a lesson that you've learned through your 4 years, your 3 years of middle school, and then your 5 years of elementary school? Like what do you think one lesson that is going to carry you? As Simeon, you're going to be the only one here and you're staying by yourself, your family's leaving. Courtney, you're going to, a new state kind of virtually by yourselves. So what's one lesson that I guess you would give to yourself?
I've learned in the past couple of weeks that blood really doesn't mean anything. Like I know some things, it's like, blood is your family, but it's like the bonds I've made with like people who technically aren't my family are closer than really most of my family members.
Wow.
That's true. That's true.
Because I'm moving down there and it's really like, there's a couple of my people on my dad's side, but it's really like my mom's best friend, my dad's best friend who's really gonna be looking out for me the most. I feel like they're gonna have my back more.
I vibe with that because like the connections, like family, like I don't think she's saying like family doesn't mean anything really, but family is like your backbone. And it's the people you know that'll always be there.
What I'm saying is that saying blood is thicker than water don't mean nothing.
Because like you can the bonds you create on your own really just top all other bonds, and like that's often the most how you get. Like if your family does something, like your sister, you get in an argument with your sister, and she say something like that's your sister, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? But like it's a different type of feeling, like from outside, from bonds that you've created. You know what I'm saying? Like the bonds you create are kind of stronger and often like tether you more than with your family, because you know your family go support you, love you, do whatever. But like you choose people and people choose you, and that's tighter.
That's fact. That's fact. All right. I want to get deep.
For me, my thing is change. Like that's what I've learned the past 4 years. Change. Like people always say like high school will go by fast, you know, and I guess I didn't really take the time I had in high school for like really good. Like we got 2 years stolen because of
Junior year
COVID.
went by way too quick, and then it was like sophomore year kind of got cut in half. Then it was junior year, went by like that. Then it was senior year. I'm glad nothing got taken from us though.
Yeah.
Because
Like things might have been hindered and there might have been restrictions, but I still had a good senior year. And like change is always gonna happen. It's just how you adapt to the change and overcome.
I will also say it's a different, like you can see during the school year and maybe college too, but it's a difference between school friends and your actual friends. Because I have also learned that from the past couple of weeks. There'll be people that will call on you for school stuff and you'll hang out outside of school, but then once school over with, they don't call you for nothing because they don't need nothing from you.
No.
So I've also learned that, and it's just, you know.
Finding people who have the best interest for you, like they have interest for you, and not just themselves. Like people who actually, like at my open house, it was great to see like I had a huge support system of people who just want good for me and not something in return other than for me to be great and them to have a enrollment and involvement in that. So like seeing stuff like that is...
That's cool. That's cool. I want to ask you a little bit about school, and then we're going to jump into your college years before we get there. What's the best class you took in your last 4 years of high school? The best class?
I will say Algebra 2.
36 classes.
Algebra 2.
Because my teacher in junior year, she so during junior year when we went online, I had like terrible grades, and she know I don't get bad grades. So the whole time she was like helping me through like literally everything. Like she would like help me retake tests, she'll help me do this, do that, because she know I don't get bad grades. So then when we went back into like school, it was like the same thing because I get A's and B's. So if I'm rocking all F's, you know it's something bad.
Definitely. And I think that's talking about like what you said earlier about it's someone who was not related to you, but like she cared about you and cared about you more than, you know, just another student who passed in your class. Like you made a connection. She, you know, reached out to you to see that, hey, this is what you weren't, it's not your normal stout, you know what I'm saying? And looking out. That's real. That's real 110%.
My favorite class.
I'm also trying to think.
I mean,
That's my favorite teacher.
football technically was a class when I was in Texas. We had 8 periods, so football was one of the periods. Yeah, like each period was 40 minutes. So if you had a sport, the sport would be one of your classes, one of your periods, and then you go to that sport and come back to school, or you go to that sport and go to school, or you go to school and go to your sport at the end of the day. So like the time never really, we got out at like 3:45, but I was in football at like 2:40, from 2:40 to 5. So they cut the time I had to stay after school. And like during the off season, like we did workouts during the class period, ran the track, all that stuff to stay in shape. Like, I guess like the connections you make too with people from football, like those to this day are my brothers. Like, and I can call on them and they can call on me even though they live in Texas, like 26 hours away drive. They can call on me still and they know that. And I'm still in contact with them. Like, connections that you make really determine like what your favorite stuff is, really. That's my biggest thing. Like the background and behind stuff, like the bonds really turn something good.
In college, teachers are not that like they're non-existent, but it's not really like a teacher anymore. It's more of like a person who is in charge of grading and making sure you pass next class, but it's all about how much work you put in. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna get paid either way.
Either way, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're getting a bigger check than the people who really work at elementary school, high school, middle school. So it's a worthful check. You know what I'm saying? So in college, I want to ask you, what's one thing that you are excited for? I'll say mine before you say yours. I was excited about the freedom. So don't say freedom. I had a lot of freedom. Yeah, so pick one different one.
Maybe about like meeting new people. It's kind of like a new life, kind of. Like, I'm not just saying like I'm gonna forget everybody up here, but it is like a new life. Like, I gotta find a roommate. I gotta find people who are like my best friends up here, because I'm not gonna have them. And I've always had my group for the longest, so it's gonna kind of be a challenge, like being down there without them, because I'm really the only one that's leaving.
Yeah.
For me, I would have said freedom. Since my parents leaving, like they moving down, like it's me on my own. But I guess I'll say responsibility. Like, with the freedom, I get more responsibility and more things I'm accountable for. And I feel like that is, like, I've always been accountable for stuff, but you know, yeah, it's different, especially with my parents gone. Like, I'm the one who gotta, you know, watch out what I eat. If I'm gonna eat, I gotta watch out, like, all my work on my own. And like, I have a support system up here, of course. Like, that's one of the main reasons I'll stay up here, but the responsibility is all on me. And I have like friends down the street at like Wayne State, or like at design school or something, like they right down the corner. But you know, I'm still gonna be responsible at the end of the day for maintaining my grades, upkeeping my scholarships, like all that stuff.
For sure. And this will be my last question of the day. What are you going to do to maintain your faith as you go to college? And I'm giving you an example. Me, being someone who only knew the church, grew up in the church, that's all I had. When I went to college, it was very different. You know, I didn't have my dad, like just like you didn't have your mom. All right, every Sunday we out of here, and both of y'all know we the first ones at church and the last ones to leave. So now that you are, like you said, Simi, have the responsibility, what are you gonna do to, you know, maintain that? Because the church is not a building, it's you. You know?
I know I get, from my Nana, she just gets like devotionals every time I'm done with one. She just got me one for graduation. So I'm gonna start that soon. But I also kind of get a glimpse of it now, because I always just used to ride with them to church. Now I got my car, so really for this and for church, she'll just be like, cause she gotta go dance. So I'll be like, I gotta be here. So either I can drive up here myself or not come. So I still choose to come. Then it's also, when I go down there, I know a couple of churches and stuff, because my auntie lived down there. So I can just go to the church she recommend, because I trust her, and I know if she pick out a place, I won't be like, kind of like a place where it's like I go, don't nobody recognize me, they'll like bring me in kind of like here.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a big believer of church isn't necessarily the end all be all for your faith. You know, like I grew up in church every morning, you know, 7 o'clock, dad's cooking breakfast. Hey, get up, man. You know, like Kayla said, time to go. And you know, him being on security, locking up the church, like I lock up around here when we're done. And since I'm going down the street, I am gonna be able to come back a lot. I already got that planned out, but I'm going to a Catholic college too. So there is services on campus. I already talked to like the ministry team on the campus. Like, I can upkeep my faith there too, but the main thing for me is my relationship with God, you know? And nobody can really put a label on your own relationship with God except for yourself and Him. And, you know, church is a great place to go. You meet like-minded people, you meet people who want stuff, the same things you do, people are going through stuff, and, you know, but at the end of the day, like Kayla said, you gotta be your own church. You gotta maintain your own faith, because showing up every Sunday, you know, you can do that, but you gotta keep up with it, because if you just show up every Sunday, it don't really, you can show up every Sunday you want to and not have a relationship with God. and you know, you can not show up at all and still have a relationship with God.
Well, seniors, I appreciate the advice, and I think our fans are going to appreciate the advice even more. And this was great. So,
bye guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out all of our socials and all that good stuff. We will have segments coming up soon, so be on the lookout for that.
Sundays at 12:30.
Yep.
Because I be getting a notification.
I do. Do y'all? Like, you know, so turn your notifications on. Subscribe, like, all that. Bye.
Took the monkey off, then I put the city on my back. Country boy, but I hang around city slickers.